Marjorie Taylor Greene blurted out classified information at a public hearing, doubled down and said, I don't care. The public deserves to know. This is someone who is on the Homeland Security Committee, and she doesn't believe in the importance of confidentiality. Let's take a look at a video clip in which you will see Marge divulging classified information at a hearing about the U.S.-Mexico border. And you will see that when she is told this is not really the appropriate place to be talking about that, she says, I don't give a damn. My words, not hers. She uses other language. Take a look.
Chief Ortiz, are you aware that there was an explosive device found by Border Patrol agents on January 17th in an area called No Man's Land, and there's surveillance of who put it there? And guess what? It wasn't Americans, it was cartels. Are you aware of that?
Thank you, Congresswoman, and good to see you again. I will tell you that some of this information that I receive in a confidential skiff, so I'm going to be a little hesitant of briefing what I know and what I don't know with respect to some of those, an event like that.
I understand, Chief Ortiz, but I'm not going to be confidential because I think people deserve to know. Our Border Patrol agents should not be in those type of
Burger Patrol
conditions where they are at risk of being blown to pieces by the cartels, who, by the way, are criminals.
She's not going to be confidential. She has just decided. Now, we'll get to whether that's something she's allowed to do as a member of Congress. Seemingly doubling down on this, she then went to Twitter and posted, quote, if the device in question was just filled with sand, then why would Chief Ortiz tell me during his testimony that he was briefed about it in a skiff and couldn't comment on classified information, then turn around afterwards and tweet a picture of it claiming it was filled with sand? With thousands of people and huge amounts of drugs flooding across the border every day, they don't brief the chief of Border Patrol in a skiff about a ball of sand. They only brief us about dangerous things in classified briefings. So she seems to be acknowledging that it is up to her to decide what gets to stay classified and what doesn't. Now, a reasonable question when we say, how does government function? And of course, if you want to know how government functions, you don't go to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She doesn't know. Do members of Congress have you could call it the ability, the right? Are they allowed, whatever term you want to use? Can she decide unilaterally what gets to remain confidential and what should be made public in this way? And the answer is, of course, as I'm sure many of you suspect with better instincts than Marjorie Taylor Greene, the answer is no. Members of Congress do not have the ability or the authority to declassify classified information on their own. During public hearings, it is important for responsible and sensible members of Congress to understand they may be able to discuss certain aspects of classified or confidential information they have seen, but they should be careful not to disclose anything that is still confidential or classified. They can discuss the general nature of classified information, but should not reveal specific details. And Marjorie Taylor Greene did everything in this moment that she is not authorized to do. If a member of the House of Representatives wants to declassify information because they believe it is of public interest or believe it should be discussed in a public setting, the way Marge seems to believe, they have a protocol and a series of procedures within the executive branch. You submit a request to the agency that originally classified the information, or you petition the president for declassification. They claim to be about law and order. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene says, I've decided I'm not going to be confidential about this. And she does it brazenly. And the saddest part about all of this is that her followers will defend anything she does. In a vacuum, she and her followers are about law and order. And they will say, we're about law and order. That's why we're against Antifa, as they now call it. That's why we're against Hunter Biden. You know, you got to investigate Hunter Biden because of law and order. And they're all about law and order. Until all of a sudden, Law and Order would say she's not supposed to be talking about this, and it's certainly not within her authority to disclose certain things during a public hearing. No. She's doing the people's work because she's being transparent and she's informing us. Oh, well, what about her lack of transparency in this other area when it came to campaign finance? No, that's also okay there for her not to be transparent because the campaign finance rules are being weaponized against. They will always have some way to get around the principles that they claim to abide by. Law and order, fiscal conservatism, personal responsibility, low regulation, until it conflicts. Well, what about forcing Twitter to publish anti-vax stuff? You want to now get involved and say, Twitter, you must publish that. That's against your principle of low regulation. Well, no, that's different because big tech, free speech, censoring, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. Every time you think you've got them because they violated one of their own stated principles, they just excuse their way out of it. This is the way that they operate, and that's how Marjorie Taylor Greene's followers are reacting to her just blurting out classified information and then saying, damn right I did, because the people deserve to know. If you are listening today and you'd like to see this clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know why you would torture yourself like that, but if you did want to, we'll have the clip on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. And we will also have it on the Spanish YouTube channel at davidpakman.com/Spanish. I've had such trouble finding a great razor where I am not cutting myself or getting those nicks on my skin, which are so common with the cheap disposable razors. You have to meet our sponsor, Henson Shaving. Henson actually manufactures parts for the International Space Station and the Mars rover, and they are bringing that exact same precision engineering to the shaving experience. It hurts when you shave because blades extend too far and thus they wobble slightly. But with their aerospace grade CNC machines, Henson is able to make metal razors that extend just 0.0013 inches. That's less than the thickness of a human hair, which means a secure, stable blade with a vibration-free shave. It also has built-in channels to evacuate the hair and the cream. No more clogs, no more rubbing your thumb on the razor to get the hair out. I use Henson at home. Shaving is a great experience now. Henson wants to be the best razor, not the best razor business, which means you only need to buy it once and it's awesome. Go to hensonshaving.com/Pakman, add a razor and a 100-pack of blades to your cart, then enter the code Pakman to get the 100 blades for free. That is a 3-year supply. The link is down below.